Alright, peace and greetings, YouTubers. So, yes, Happy New Year, all that great stuff. I know it's been forever since I made a video, but we'll talk in another video because we're going to talk about Whitney in this one. So, the Whitney Houston movie on Lifetime. Overall, I really don't know what to give this movie because I think it was marketed terribly. You know, they made you think it was actually going to be like a biographical film about Whitney. It was more so like a love story between Whitney and Bobby. It was like the second half of what would happen if they had a New Edition movie. This would be the second half of that movie because it was all about Bobby in this. But I will say, it was a whole lot better than that Leah movie, because the Leah movie, that was torture to sit through, especially when you spent the first 40 minutes talking about R. Kelly. But at least in the Whitney movie, I think they probably booked the Leah movie after 3 minutes. As soon as Whitney did the part with the guide me home, I was like, yep, we're good. Okay, they got that part down. Overall, I think what makes this movie somewhat decent is you had Deborah Cox giving a really good job with vocals. A lot of people were kind of talking about, you know, well, we don't want Deborah to do it. Why couldn't somebody else do it? Why can't Jennifer Hudson do it? And I was kind of like, listen, I like Jennifer Hudson a lot. But my thing about Jennifer Hudson is that people always forget. Jennifer Hudson is a very strong vocalist and she has power vocals. People always just associate Whitney with being a power vocalist who just does belting notes. But Whitney was very well-rounded and had a very good head voice and a good falsetto and knew how to do just enough where you would want more. As much as I love Jennifer Hudson is just straight, I don't know, it's like you're getting hit with a cannon as soon as she turns on the TV. So I don't think I would have wanted to watch the movie and have my coffee mug vibrating off the table while she's singing. Nothing against J Hud, but her voice is her voice is just heavy. You know, J Hud's for a different, you know, if there's ever, they do a Mahalia Jackson movie or something, that's all J Hud right there. But I think Deborah Cox did a good job, and some people were like, well, I don't like the vocals, but I'm like, damn, it's Whitney Houston. It's already hard enough to find anybody who can sing like her. Hell, before Whitney died, Whitney couldn't sing Whitney. Not, you know, to diss her or nothing, but hell. But getting back to the movie was, I don't know, it was weird because the movie really only covered about 6 years. It covered probably like from 1989 to maybe 95, 96, and that's about it. So it really didn't cover a lot. You should have just called this the Whitney and Bobby movie, named it something in common, and called it a day. So, but I do think this gives opportunity for a larger, more grand scale and well put together Whitney film. And in my opinion, I think they should really call the Susan the Patsy lady to direct it. That's the one who did the Jackson 5 movie. Like, in my opinion, have her start doing these movies because you know how to do them right. Because I'm going to just say right now, if y'all ever decide to do a Janet movie, Susan the Patsy, whatever her name is, better be doing it or there's just no deal. Otherwise, let me direct it, please. Please. Let me see. The acting, the Yaya girl is actually very good. Like, she was great. The Bobby character wasn't too bad at acting, but the script, I didn't agree with it at all. The script made it seem like Bobby Brown was just Saint Bobby. And nothing against Bobby. I ain't trying to character assassinate. But it was kind of like every 2 seconds you saw Whitney just snorting and snorting and snorting. And Bobby is just, you know, the strong, spiritual priest of the house and keeping everything together. And he didn't start tripping until the end of the movie. They didn't show him get arrested anytime. They didn't show him pissing in the back of that police car. They didn't show him spitting on her. They didn't show him, you know, doing whatever. So it kind of made it seem like Whitney was just some crazy crackhead and Bobby went crazy towards the end. And I'm not trying to say what happened because I didn't live in their house, but I'm just saying, you know, if you were going to capture Whitney's drug use or whatever Whitney was doing, you should have captured what Bobby had going. Or you should have made it seem as if they counterbalance each other with their addictions or what they struggle with. But it made it seem like Whitney was just some crazy crackhead and Bobby just was trying to find himself. So this was more of a Bobby Brown movie than Whitney. But I will say that the highlights are definitely Yaya's acting as Whitney and definitely Deborah Cox in the vocals. I was kind of wanting Deborah Wilson to be in the movie, but that would have just gave a bad vibe because, you know, Deborah Wilson used to have Whitney down back in the day. I'll say there was a lot of sex in the beginning of the movie too. I was like, they're getting it in more than I have all year. I guess it's a New Year still though. But I was like, Whitney and Bobby, I guess they used to get it in like that for real. What else? Oh, Sissy. They had Sissy looking like Mary J. Blige from the Share My World era. I was like, okay, I'm sure Sissy was pissed about that, but cool. I'll say this though, the Houston family, I don't know how I feel about the Pat Houston lady, because I know they were really going in on Angela Bassett and calling her an opportunist and everything, but then I was thinking like, didn't y'all put out a reality show like a month and a half after Whitney died? Like, the casket wasn't even in the ground good, and y'all already had the reality show ready, like, and in production and ready to be released. So I was kind of like, as much as I was not a very strong fan of this movie, and I wish they would have done a better job of really presenting Whitney in a different light, or at least making the story more concrete or thorough, you know, I felt like Pat Houston and the crew had some nerve because y'all have milked everything about Whitney since she died. All these different albums and books and TV shows and everything y'all got going. You knew Bobby K needed some extra help and y'all was like, no, just put the camera in front of her and let it roll. We'll be good. Okay, get that check. got Bobby Christina trying to sing "I'm Your Baby Tonight." Can't even sing it right, and that's her mama's song. Anyway, but no, the script I think needed work. It just, I don't know. I feel like when you're doing these biographical movies, I'm making up words, about entertainers, you either do three things. Either you capture the music, which I think they did a good job of with a lot of the Whitney music. I think they did great on that. Or you capture the story, or you capture the relationship that that person was in. This one was more so about the relationship with a hint of the music. You didn't really get to know a lot about Whitney. So they tried to input a few little jabs about, oh, well, she sold this much, and oh, this is 16 weeks of #1. But you sometimes felt like you didn't see the impact of Whitney. And at the same time, I'll even say kind of with Bobby, it made it seem as if he wasn't as big as he was during his heyday. I would say from about 88 to maybe 91, Bobby was kind of doing it a bit. I know the Bobby album didn't do that great, but yeah, I'll say that. But I would like to see a movie that goes from Whitney's childhood until Whitney dies. You know, all that. We missed all the good stuff from 97, 98, and the Diane, so all that crap. I want all of that. I want the good stuff. Right, basically, I know the Whitney fans hate it, but just pull out the Kevin Amon's book, The Good Girl, Bad Girl, and take some stuff out of there. The stuff that's true, allegedly. I don't know, so I'll give this movie maybe like a C. Maybe a C minus, depending on, I don't know, maybe if I had a drink or something, it might have been a C plus. But it just, I don't know, it seemed like it just abruptly ended because it's like Bobby does whatever, she's tired of Bobby, and then she's like, I'll give you one more chance, and then she sings "I Will Always Love You," and that's the end of the movie. So I was like, wait, it just ended because it started to get good towards the end, and it just turned off. I said, man, Whitney is somebody that I think you need to give her like a 4.5-hour movie. Any of those legends who have had more than a 10-year career, you got to give them a full-length movie, okay? You have all these other entertainers who a lot of people are very unfamiliar with, and they get these very long feature films and everything, and then it's like a lot of these people who've been in the game for a long time are getting these kind of like crappy D-lister movies. I'm like, come on, give them a little better than that. Anyway, share your opinion, share your thoughts. I don't know. I mean, the movie was cool for what it was. There's definitely a need for a better one, or a need for one that's more thorough. This was cool for TV, but overall, I feel like it could be better. I'm not going to knock Angela Bassett, but I don't know why she would have been the one to direct it, because even though I know they're friends and all, I don't think Angela and Whitney were kicking it every day, and you know, because if y'all were that good of friends, you could have convinced Whitney to do the second part of Waiting to Excel instead of Sparkle. I'm just saying. Oh, shout out to the Seahawks. We doing it. And I'm out. Subscribe. Hey, this is a long walk too. You see how I move my set?